Good evening. My name is Brad Horn, and I'm a student at Columbia Southern University. Our assignment is to give a speech on a significant person who contributed and influenced others during the first 90 years of the United States. My significant person is Samuel Finley Breeze Morse. He was born April 27, 1791, and died April 2nd, 1872. Here's a snapshot of his amazing life. Imagine with me this setting. America is still in its infancy. There are only 24 states in the Union so far. The westward expansion was just on the start of exploration. Andrew Jackson, our 7th president, is in our office. And in the country is in the midst of protests with riots and civil rights and slavery, all taking the headlines. Communication was slow, and it took lots of time to get messages back and forth by hand delivery, through ships or by rider. News published was often delayed and hard to come by since the only printing presses were in the bigger areas of population and never really covered the rural areas. This is an era where the townspeople were often unaware of things going on in the world, or even the next town. That is until the famous American painter and inventor Samuel Finley Breeze Morse came into the picture. Imagine with me the new year is 1835. And Mr. Morse had recently accomplished a well-needed invention in the United States, the invention of the telegraph in Morse code. He learned that he could create his own language using a combination of 36 dots and dashes. An operator would type out a message using a telex machine, and information would go through a cable or to a telegrapher. With that in mind, he found that he could transmit the combinations to an operator, and then they could interpret and relay the information quickly. His first message on 24 May 1838 was sent from Washington, D.C. to Baltimore, Maryland. It was a test message to show the significance of his coded speech, and the message simply stated, "What hath God wrought?" His creation spread like wildfire, and almost overnight there were 20,000 miles of telegraph lines ran up and down the East Coast. Mr. Morse's invention took on a new role as well. The military commanders picked up on the possible impact of such communication during battles and military campaigns. They learned how they could use secured communication with the front lines and this information to give strategic reports and casualties in enemy locations. They also found it to be useful for offensive and defensive capabilities. The military found Morse code to be useful as universal code. Distressed and disabled ships could call for help when they are in lost or need of assistance. In current times, those types of messages are used for the same as they were back then in history. But now you can go to every local kids department store and see Samuel Morse's creation being played with. When little kids that are playing with handheld walkie-talkies, playing just past the line of sight between each other. But in reality, Samuel Morse is a figment of people's imagination in today's society. With all the technological advances, ranging from the printing press to dots and dashes, all the way to messages being brought to you each time by using a touchscreen or even this video on YouTube, all can be traced back to the famous painter, inventor, and co-founder of Western Union named Samuel Morse.